In this lesson, we're going to go ahead and create the cockpit window. And to do that, I'm going to go ahead and take off the smoothing. And oh, by the way, before I forget, we can go ahead and push this back into our into the wing like so, if we so choose. And see how nice that fits in there. Perfect. All right, so to create our cockpit, really simple. What we're going to do is we're going to grab these faces right here, and I'm going to go ahead and grab this bottom, this thin face going across the bottom here. If you don't have it, it's not a big deal, but we will have to put it in later. And then I'm going to go to my edit mesh, and I'm going to go ahead and duplicate these faces. And I'll click on my toggle and find and move these out just a little bit. And I'm going to go to object mode, because if I don't, it's going to want to stay in face mode. And I'm going to hold down the shift key and deselect my cockpit. All right, and that's going to give me these faces. I'll go ahead and center my pivot so that I can move this around as I need to. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a straight extrusion on these. And so I'll extrude here. And I'll pull this out to about right where this first edge is. And I'll do it again. Extrude this out to about right there. And what I think I'll do at this point is I'll go to vertices, and I'll grab these two vertices, start to scooch them down and back a little bit. I'll grab these three faces again and extrude one more time and pull this up to the, whoops, and pull this to the corner. And now I've basically got my shape, and now I can begin my modeling. Step 4, I'll push this back. In fact, I'll take this entire assemblage and push that back and bring it down a little more. This little bit on the center line, we'll pull this out. Pull that out like so. Now, I've got these center line faces, which you always have to remember to delete. They will cause no end of trouble if you don't, especially with what we're going to do next. There. Because what we're going to do next is we're going to extrude for thickness, which is always a little bit tricky. That's not tricky as such, but it's just not something you want to... there's some things that can go wrong if you're not careful. All right, so now I've got this shape. I also want to delete these faces down here. Just those three. Don't need we want this fence already to be there. All right, so that's ugly looking. So I'll pull that in. Hit 3, you can sort of see what this is going to look like in relation to the fuselage. Okay, so that should fit in fairly decently. I forgot the other thing we need to delete. And that's these back faces. There. Okay, so that's basically what we want. Go to 1, go to object mode, and I'm going to extrude these back, and I'm going to basically pull them back in X or in Z, and that will pull them down and in. And notice, of course, that it does reverse the normals. And that's okay. So we'll go to select, and I'll go to display mesh and go to reverse, and there we go. And everything's good. And now, of course, we want to grab these faces here. Delete, and I got one more face. I want one more interior face right there that I want to delete, because these have crossed over. And that's a change we'll need to make. So we'll grab these vertices, grab that vertex right there, and move it down because it's tangled. And we don't need that. Okay. So now, last thing we need to do is we need to fence off this back. And to do that, it's very simple. Just click there. There we go, and there we've created a very simple cockpit. If you need to create more modeling, we can do that. We can push this forward and pull the other down. Don't be just this is just simply a rendering artifact of the render the Viewport 2 renderer, and it's not anything that you really need to worry about as such. Okay, so basically what we've done is we have finished pretty much all the geometry that we're going to need to model at this stage. So what we are is we're ready to begin UV mapping, and one thing we can do at the end of here is we can delete history, make sure all history is deleted. We can make sure also that it's not perfect, it's not clean yet. We'll do that at the end after we mirror everything. But hang on, I want to go to freeze transfer. Keep missing modify, freeze transformations. I'll get it right eventually. And I'm going to go ahead and take the select menu and choose everything's changed. They've changed some locations here. I was going to change curves. I was going to select all curves and delete them, but I guess we can go to edit. I'll do it here. Edit, delete all by type, curves. Curves, where are they? Wow. All right, well, the other way we can do this is, if that doesn't work for you, we can uncheck the ability to select geometry, select all the curves that we have, and just hit delete. That's probably the easiest way to do it anyway. All right, so in this lesson, we did the cockpit, and in the next lesson, we will begin the process of UV mapping our geometry, and then after that, we will mirror, and we should be good to go and ready to start texturing.